Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. The 7/7 portal, as we've been talking in the previous video, is still open. It's open until today, so I hope you are watching this video within the next 24 hours because you can still use this present energy for transforming your life, for transmuting the negative energy into the positive one. And maybe you've noticed that in recent 3 to 4 days your self-awareness has increased so much, and usually it's a sign of a breakthrough. So before we go further, I just want to tell you that I'm recording this sound outside on the beach, so excuse me if the sound quality is not the best. You can hear also the sound of the cicadas in the background. It's a calming frequency, so enjoy in today's message. As the energies are supporting your release of ancestral patterns of thinking, feeling, and doing, you're deeply supported to manifest the life you're intending to live, as you would be already completely healed of any toxic pattern. And you've most probably noticed that most of your thoughts are not yours. Most of your thoughts are from your parents, from your environment, from your ancestors. And as each thought awakens an emotion, you may recognize that even your emotions are not even yours. The way you feel is not really yours. It's not coming from your soul. It comes from your environment. And as you gain a better awareness around it, you notice what is yours and what is not yours. You start to be able to detect your authentic energy and what is kind of pulling you away from the authentic version of yourself. And as during this 7/7 portal, self-awareness was much more increased. Today is the last day, because usually when we have the main day of a certain strong energy, then we have 3 days around that day where that energy is still felt and still can be used for any intentional work, any intentional energetic manipulation or transformation or healing. So today is the last day, and it's important to remind yourself to use certain techniques and methods, especially of clear thinking, something we've been talking in the previous video about 7/7 portal, emotional regulation, and we can use active meditation to work with us energies to transmute something into the vibration that will match with the life we want to live. And I want to guide you through that process, not in a sense of guided meditation, but I will give you guided steps. How can you do it? So you have to know, firstly, that you don't need to be perfectly healed to do what you feel called to do or to experience a life you want to live. Because sometimes we go through the process of healing as we are doing something we've been called to do. Sometimes, through the following of your calling, you experience the most healing and release. As if I give you an example, when I started making these videos, I still felt shy and I still felt afraid of talking in front of the camera. But as I've started doing more and more of it, I've recognized that I've become more aware of how my shyness or shame is reflecting in my behaviors. And as I've started expanding my awareness around these patterns, I became much better at it, at detecting, okay, this is shame and this is my authentic self. Let's be more authentic and let's be less shame. And what we are doing, we are just designing new patterns in more authentic self. So it becomes more conscious to us. The feeling of authenticity needs to become more conscious to us. And usually it's like a feeling of naturality, like this feels natural. When something feels natural, you know it comes from your soul. So firstly, I want to remind you to just close your eyes and think for yourself, what feels the most natural to you? What feels the most natural to you? Because it can help you to navigate your life into the directions that feel the most natural, because at some point of our soul evolution, we all start to feel naturally drawn into a specific direction that feels natural for our soul. Not for your conditioned mind, not for whatever you've been taught, but for your soul. It feels natural. You can't explain it better than saying it just feels natural. When you do something that feels so like it gives you a sense of freedom. As number 7, often considered with luck, is also considered with love for freedom. As 7-7, when we put the sevens together, we get a vibration that kind of resonates on the level of love for freedom. Of course, that love for freedom, as I've mentioned in the previous video, is lacking discipline and focus, which we need to then work on if we want to make a mastery out of that energy. But that love for freedom is reminding us that freedom and love are the byproducts of well-lived life. And when we learn and recognize what we love to do naturally, like for me it's painting, it's a creative expression. When we recognize, okay, this is what I love to do naturally, this just naturally comes to me, we start appreciating our natural gifts and talents, and we experience a strong, like an intense calling to shape those skills, to sharpen our talents. And that's where we start to get better and better. But we notice that we can't do it without discipline. We can't do it without focus. So we start shaping and forming our lives in such a way that we will be able to dedicate our time to nurture those important skills and talents and everything that may make our lives truly incredible, truly a wonderful experience. And that's something I truly want for you. So remember, you don't need to be perfectly healed or completely healed to do what you feel called to do. You can start today, and through the process of doing it, you will go through an intense healing. And you will go through a lot of shit. Like I said before, you will go through many different emotional sensations, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't experience it. In science, they call it a positive stress. You will experience a positive stress, which some people may describe as it feels unpleasant, but I still want to do it because I know that on the other side there's evolved version of myself. And I want to remind you that your future self is navigating you through that process. That's why you experience synchronicities and sometimes mystical moments in your meditations and in your dreams that are kind of reminding you why you should keep up with that. Even if it's unpleasant, even if you're going against the programs of society, against the programs of your subconscious self that was like a program of your environment. So I want to give you 4 steps firstly, or actually 3 steps and 1 reminder to use this energy for manifestation. Let's say for manipulation of the energy, so we can structure it in a way that will work for you, that will be beneficial for your needs, so your needs can be met, right? So firstly, make a list of the things you would like to have in your life, things that would make your life easier. And I truly want you to think clearly on that. Don't just think about, oh, I want to have more money or I want to meet that special person, but truly think clearly on that. What kind of things would make your life easier so you could focus on your purpose right now? And this is something, I think, if you're not clear, meditate on that. Meditate on that and get clear. That's where you will also start training your mind to think clearly around the things that are important to you. So you stop wasting your energy so much on the things that are outside of your hands, on the things that are outside of your control, and you rather focus on what is in your power to create. So make a list of the things you would like to manifest in your life. I've made that list, the first list I've made was in 2017. And in 2020, I was looking back at that list and I've started crying because I've noticed all those things came to me, all those things happened. Some happened at the time that was really necessary. Some happened at the time when I completely forgotten that I ever wanted it. But it all happened. So remind yourself of the power of your focus. When you focus at something, you make it grow. And when you consistently think about something, you're consistently nurturing those things. And when you think about it from a sense of gratitude and clear knowing that it will find you without a need to get it, because you just know that it will find you at the right time, things will unfold so beautifully. Usually not when you expect, but when you need it the most. And you never know when you need something the most until it happens. So make a list of the things that you would like to manifest in your life. And practice this clear thinking. So think only about what you want for this certain specific time. And maybe you may experience emotions like it's not possible, or emotions of fear, what if it will not happen? And I want you to channel them into gratitude. Because know that when you're sure about something, know that things will work out in your favor. And when you are done, I want you to close your eyes, calm your muscles in your body, and start visualizing as you already have all those things. And here you are training your visualization power. It's a form of active meditation where you're meditating, but you're using your mind actively to visualize the things that are now important to you, the things that you're now designing, as everything you see with your mind's eye is already present in a certain, let's say, parallel reality of your life. And as you're maintaining that vision and nurturing it with an energy of your emotions, you start drawing that reality into this present reality. So when you close your eyes and you start visualizing it, you have to awaken the feeling of having it, the feeling of gratitude, the feeling of satisfaction, the feeling of fulfillment, the feeling of inspiration is one of truly powerful ones. Like, how inspired would you feel if you would have those things? Because there is no meaning in having it if it is not inspiring you. Like, for example, I only want to have my needs met so I can feel even more inspired to follow my purpose, to follow my calling, to help those people, to support this project or whatever it is. I only want those things so I can work even more on that purpose, on that mission, on that project, on that whatever thing that it is. I want to support my family, I want to do this, and whatever it is, you can use the stories to help you awaken emotions that can help you to draw those things to you. And then maintain that feeling for 5 to 10 minutes. That's what we call emotional regulation. Remember, in previous video, we've been talking about clear thinking. We've been talking about the control over our will, which means control over our actions. And will is created of two things. We have will to do something and we have will to not do something, to avoid something. So a power of will and control over our will is so important at this point. Because as we are visualizing this, we need to build a certain muscle of being able to decide, okay, I'm visualizing this, but I'm not thinking about that. Because sometimes when people start visualizing something, all the other thoughts came in because their muscle of clear thinking is really weak. So we need to train it, we need to work on it. And To train the muscle for clear thinking, the easiest way to do it is to practice meditation of quietness, or meditation where you hold on to just one thought, or you are visualizing just one thing for 5 to 10 minutes and you practice it for 1 month, for example, like training a muscle. But as today we're talking about using this present energy, work on visualization of the things, of the list that you've wrote down, and feel emotions of it for at least 5 to 10 minutes. And to increase the power of manifestation at this time, do it until the next new moon. Do it at the same time every single day until the next new moon. I will make more videos on guidance on that and when the next new moon will come, as I'm making videos on regular basis. So just do it every single day until the next new moon at the same time of the day. It will be much easier with that to train yourself to work on clear thinking and to emotionally plug yourself to that reality where you have the things that you want. And as you are doing it at the same time, you will start to train yourself to awaken those emotions more naturally. It will become completely natural at some point. Until at some point, even without meditation, you will naturally start to feel grateful. You will naturally start to feel fulfilled and whole. And as you're practicing regulating and awakening those emotions, what is happening in your body, you're raising your energy. The frequency of your body is rising. The energy field around your body is changing. Its form is changing. Its light is increasing. And you start to attract in your life many interesting synchronicities that may remind you, sometimes we see this, what people call angel numbers. Sometimes we manifest interesting events when we meet people sometimes people who already have the things we want to have. Sometimes we meet people who talk about the things we've started thinking about. And sometimes we meet random events that provide us the right guidance and the right information that can help us to get to where we want to be. That's how universe is guiding us. The future self is guiding us. The higher, wisdom, higher consciousness, higher self is guiding you. All the forces of this universe are helping you to heal yourself of toxicity so you can live a life of purpose, right? And having material things, having all your needs met is not for your pleasure. It's for your ability to follow your calling with greater ease and know that calling is not defined. Purpose is not defined. It's at this phase your purpose maybe is healing, but at the second phase or the next phase your purpose may be being a help in your family or being someone in the community that provides this or that. But then in the next phase you may become a leader, and in the next phase you may become an artist, or purpose is never defined. But the core mission of your purpose is always something that is related to help, to support, to nourishment of society or of a certain community. It's always something positive. And that's what indigenous traditions knew. So they were cherishing that sense of a calling so much. They knew that we all came here with a calling. We all came here with a purpose. And at some point of our evolution, we discover it. So usually we have certain emotional blocks that are not allowing us to discover it. It's usually resentment or a lack of forgiveness, or we are paying too much attention to the things that are outside of our control, and therefore we lose so much energy that cannot be channeled into our hearts, so we would be able to open our hearts and to see things from more compassionate perspective. If you hold a lot of guilt and regret within, I want you to know that there's nothing to be guilty about. You did what you did in the past because of the level of your knowledge you had in that past. But now you're more acknowledged and you can do things differently. So rather than holding to regret, know that you can change, know that you can do things differently. Try again with a better understanding, with more awareness around your actions, and see where it will take you. If you have any attachments to specific negative outcomes, this process of visualization and clear thinking about the things or around the things that are important to you will help you to detach from the negative outcomes and gain a better knowing or a stronger knowing, as a feeling of knowing that things will work out in your favor as you know what you want. When you have clarity around the things that truly matters to you, now your energy is more coherent and your soul will be guiding you towards it. You are now magnetizing it towards yourself. And please stop thinking from the past and start being more present. Start being more present. And use your creative mind for thinking clearly around the things you want rather than the things that in the past happened and didn't work. That's just something you need to know. And as you are kind of reshaping the way you think, reshaping the way you feel, and reshaping the way you behave, you're changing yourself. Your state of being is changing, your behaviors are changing, and therefore you are becoming a new version of yourself. And that is something really, really powerful and something incredible that only people who tap into their inner bravery are willing to do it. It's an act of the brave ones. So my friends, I hope you found something valuable today, the last day of this 7/7 portal, and I hope this video inspired you in any way to make a change that will be positively really, really beneficial for you and for people around you. I hope you've enjoyed in today's painting as well, and thanks to all of you for supporting my art in our Etsy shop, I Draw My Passion. You're all truly appreciated. My friends, I love you all. I'm sending you all lots of love, blessings and power. Till next time, one love.